Hi, good morning. My name is Mr. Jones, and today I want to talk about my guitar and the mentality I take whenever I approach playing the guitar and how I use that to deal with other problems in my life. I've been playing the guitar for about a few years now, and I've been playing it seriously for a little bit over a year. And I've used what I've learned to play the guitar to deal with other difficult situations in my life. And so today I just want to outline the steps that I take to approach the guitar and how I apply that to my real life. And so the first step into solving any problem is identifying what the problem is. And in guitar, it can be difficult, especially for somebody who plays the piano or any other instrument, to go into a stringed instrument and understand how the strings lay out and how the chords work. In the guitar, we have a system called the cage system. It's a system of chords that lets you move up and down the fretboard with a lot of ease, and it kind of simplifies the guitar. And I'll demonstrate why it's called a cage system. It's because it's a C, A, G, E, and D chords. And together that spells caged. And what it allows me to do is to move up and down my fretboard a lot easier. And that's the cage system. And it helps to understand how the strings lay out, and it helps to simplify what can look like a complex instrument. The next step would be to analyze the small details of your problem and decide what might affect your problem, what might alter your solution. In guitar, in any music, chords comprise the scales that we play, comprise the riffs and the licks and the notes that we play all together in the piece. And so the best way to demonstrate that would be with a simple E major pentatonic scale. And I can even use this to scale up. I can use that to improvise other notes while I'm playing a piece over simple chords like an E. And that's just an example of analyzing small details and applying it to what you need to do. The next step would be to discuss the different techniques or the different methods that you can use to find your solution. In guitar, there are two different methods of playing. There's flat picking, which is what I demonstrated earlier with my E major pentatonic scale. There's also finger picking. Flat picking usually requires the use of a pick, and playing guitar, I was never able to use one. So naturally, I just had to go to finger picking. Finger picking sounds like this. And it uses all of your fingers on the right hand and minimal movement on the left hand, which is quite the opposite of flat picking. Once you've analyzed the different methods, it's time to practice and think about your solution until you get it down to a second nature, until you know what you're doing and you feel confident with what you're doing. For finger picking, there are many different other methods to doing this, and I had to practice them a lot until I was able to feel comfortable with them. For example, simple blues pieces, finger picking, are played with just a single bass line and a melody on top. And so, for example, once you get that down, you still have to get into more complex methods. You still have to keep on practicing. And the next step for me was playing a method called Travis picking, which is much like that, but the bass line alternates, much like this. You still play the melody, but now you have to move your thumb along with it as well. After that, there's still even more that you can go to. You can always get better, and you can always try harder to find your solution. The next step for me, as far as I've gotten, is playing a style of music called ragtime. Ragtime is primarily played on piano, but it's been transposed into a guitar, and it can be difficult to play because it's playing the piano on your guitar. but it can be done. And even this complex style of music, you can still hear remnants of the first and second steps. With ragtime, you have a lot of complex chords, and so learning your cage system is extremely important. And not only that, but I'm using a G blues scale, which you heard while I was playing. These are just examples of practicing and practicing until you can get better and better and better, until you finally know what you're doing. And once you finally know what you're doing, it's time to enact your solution. It's time to bring it all together. And so for my final piece, I want to play a song that I wrote that combines elements of bluegrass and the ragtime piece that I was playing earlier. And so I'll play this one last piece. Thank you.